I'm like, okay, if I go to Spain or if I go to Russia, can I come back? And they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, I don't want to get stuck, So
Yeah.
one, I'm like, okay, I have never been there.
Good morning, everybody. I'm excited to welcome in another amazing guest, the Mimosa Brunch. He has over 750,000 followers on Twitch, over 200,000 followers on X. You've seen him in commercials. You hear about his supermodel girlfriends. It's the movement king himself. It's JoeWo. JoeWo, how we doing?
It's a pleasure to be here, bro. I'm telling you, if I could just have you intro my whole day every day, life would be good, bro. But I'm so glad to be here, man. I appreciate you having
me. Let's go. I think your name JoeWo is pretty obvious, but I did have a question. Did you have that name just for streaming, or did you have that your whole life kind of growing up?
Pretty much, honestly, like my whole life growing up, like all throughout like high school and stuff, like it was just like short for my whole government. So people just called me JoeWo for a long time. And then started gaming. I was like that sounds kind of cool. So I was like, I'm gonna just rock with JoeWo.
Yeah, nice. And then Movement King. I think that's a nice little nickname you picked up along the way. How'd that come about?
Actually, TikTok. And even though TikTok is a little crazy now, TikTok's a little, some crazy comments. But way back in the day, it's actually kind of a funny story. But way back in the day, OG TikTok, like this was like before it was obviously as big as it is now. But yeah. I was posting like horizontal clips of Warzone in like for dance, and all the comments were like, "That's my movement king." Like this guy's the movement king Warzone, and I was like, "That's a pretty cool title." That's a pretty cool title. So I just kept it, and people were like, "Bro, TikTok's not going anywhere. Like, just stop posting." I was posting like horizontal videos on there. They were big, and so I was like, "I'm keeping that name. I'm stapling that." So
let's go. Yeah,
shout out TikTok.
Let's go. All right. So you were born in Cleveland. What's your earliest childhood memory from that time?
Earliest childhood is probably a lot of cold weather. I do love it there. Yeah, all my family's there. But we would pretty much go back like every single summer, which is great because I personally hate cold weather. So like this is amazing.
Yeah.
But like all my family's there and stuff, and it's great. It's just a little bit chilly.
Nice. And so yeah, you mentioned moving. So you moved to North Carolina when you're how old?
I was in second grade, so that was.
8, I think.
8, 9,
yeah, something like that.
in that.
Nice. So, and when you moved to North Carolina, unfortunately, at a young age, your dad passed away, which I think we should talk about because obviously it played a major role in your life. I would assume.
100%.
What do you remember from that time? You're still pretty young, so what is that like as a young child to kind of experience?
I mean, that whole time was an absolute like blur, I would say, but for kids, especially because I was 12, it's just like you never think anything bad can ever happen to anybody, right? To your friends, to your parents, and that whole time was an absolute blur because everything was going great, sports were going great, family was going great, school was going great, and then he had stage 4 cancer out of the blue, completely random, and he had it. I think he got diagnosed in around April, and then he passed away in July. So it was like a super quick cancer of stage 4, and it's just crazy how that now just like shapes like my whole life and content in general. Because knowing that nobody's promised at all tomorrow, next week, next month, and he just had like a back pain, and then that completely changed into just like. But they found stage 4 cancer from just that. And that has truly shaped like my whole life.
Yeah, man. And you have a twin sister, right? So not only does your mom need to grieve, but she can't really too much because she's got 2 kids to raise, Yep. I mean, it's crazy. Like, shout out to Mama Wo. I mean, takes an insane amount of effort and hero type shit for real. But I mean,
gosh, she's the GOAT, man. She's done everything for us ever since then. I could not even imagine. And like, even now, like we've like grown so much closer because of that. Is like, now I know like she's the only one for my whole life now that I like have left. And there's nothing like a like true mom's love. And she's done everything for us forever now. So it's super cool to grind and just like try to grow a content and brand, and then like treat her to stuff that she did for us her whole life.
That's sick, dude. And I mean, obviously she did a great job. Look at where you guys are. I mean, a lot of kids can go through something like that, and then you see like the lash out, getting in a lot of trouble growing up, things like that. But I mean, testament to Mama Wo. I mean,
go man,
amazing, dude. So you kind of mentioned that, like, shaping your whole life, who then become like the major influences in your life growing up, when you're missing the father figure role?
Yeah, I would probably say a lot of like either like church, because then dude, like our whole church like super surrounded us, because bro, for kids especially, man, like that's so important. And then like I would probably say like even like close friends' dads, because they knew how important that was. And I had so many just great friends that had like awesome parents that truly surrounded us with like food, like especially then at that time was just such a crazy time that they brought us food. They did a ton of stuff for us because they knew, especially for my mom, how difficult that is.
Yeah.
Trying to then like have her two kids like grow up and just somehow have a kind of normal life when something as catastrophic as that happens.
Yeah, I mean, dang, you could probably go on forever about your mom, but I mean, like, what makes her so special that she was able to do that? Because I think a lot of people would kind of like just want to give up.
Nah, the number one thing that is just always so crazy to me is how she put her kids before like herself, and that was with sports stuff. She would buy us she I'm not even kidding you, probably has like some of the same clothes she had then now. And I'm like, Mom, we're going shopping. I'm like, nah, we're going. And she's like, no, don't give me anything. And like she would buy us stuff for sports, for school, whatever we needed before she ever got anything for herself. And she truly put her kids before her. And it's so cool now that anytime like we ever go anywhere, she's like, no, I'm like, Mom, you're not paying for a single meal. Like that is just something that I love to do for her, because I know that she's done so much for us growing up and how tough that time had to be. So it's cool because she's like, don't buy me anything. I'm like, Mom, that is the bare minimum least I could do for you. Like, you don't understand. Yeah. So she's freaking awesome, man.
Damn, man, that is so cool. What do you remember about your dad? What sticks out in your memory from your time with him?
He was a great father, man. He truly taught us all of his hobbies, all of his passions. Like, he loved cars, he loved Harleys, he loved tattoos, and he would bring us along with everything that he did. So he did like basically things that ran fast and were very loud. He be like, yo, Joe, we're going to a freaking drag race or to go see like car shows and all that kind of stuff. And then that like grew my passion for cars and stuff is from an early age. He would truly show us like all of his hobbies and all his passions. And I can definitely appreciate that now, because there's a ton of times that their parents or some kids' parents just like have their own hobbies, just them. Mm-hmm. And they like, I wouldn't say hide it, but it's like their thing. Like, no, dad's going out, like stay home. So like he would just take us everywhere, and I truly just admire that now.
Man, that's awesome. You have those memories, dude. That's so sweet. So you're in North Carolina. Your dad's passed away. You're in middle school, I would assume, or close to it. What types of things are you into as you're kind of growing up through grade school and middle school then?
Definitely sports, bro. I'm a huge basketball guy, like, which we'll probably like way later in the story, but like growing up, I was never gaming. So all I did was play like travel basketball, freaking AAU, and like was traveling like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday to, like hours away for tournaments, which also, shout out Mama Whoa, had 2 kids in sports. Like she was crushing it, but was always going somewhere for basketball. And that was like my rock growing up. So
heck yeah. No, what you're saying about Mama Whoa traveling is 100% real that I can relate to. So I played traveling baseball. We played like 180 games a summer, like for real. So we were going every single weekend. We would meet up. We would caravan like as a team to like all these different states, dude. It was like the best time of my life. But when you look back at it, you're just like, man, my parents like were real ones. Cause like, they're still like 30 something, you know what I mean? And they're like giving up their life basically to like go watch me play baseball.
Exactly. And especially on a weekend too. Like of the time they could just be chilling. Like I don't want to go on a Saturday, Sunday, drive hours away for a couple games. And there's times that like you would have like a freaking 7 a.m. game. It's like, what the heck are we doing? So it's like, she would crush it, man. She's the freaking best.
That's awesome. What about in school? Did you like school? Did you hate school? What kind of student were you?
I would say I was a good student. I definitely was not a great student. I can gas up my twin sister some. She's like brilliant, like very, very smart. Nice. She was the valedictorian for a whole class, like 470 in high school. And like seeing her, I guess I was like kind of jealous. I was like, bro, I'm not studying like I'd say like I got like B's, like okay grades, but she was always like AP classes, straight A's, valedictorian, full college scholarship. So I was like, yo, screw that, man. So, but like I would say I was a good student, you know.
Nice. What about like childhood obsessions? Like, you know, some kids will be obsessed with dinosaurs or space or collect rocks. You remember any like obsessions you had?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll probably say, childhood obsessions. I saw randomly. I would say toys.
Yeah.
But I found these things, and you might know what I'm talking about, or just you can put them on screen or something. But they're these little like pill looking like cartoons called Magic Beans, I think.
You put them in water?
I had no. It's like hard plastic.
Okay.
And like they all had like their own face, bro. I had hundreds of those. So like, I would say like toys. I had cars, like, but I had these little like Magic Beans, bro. I thought those were the coolest things ever, bro. I don't know why, but shout out Magic Beans. Bro.
Shout out Magic Beans. Heck yeah. Would you say like in real life, and maybe it's changed now as you've like, I think streaming probably changed it a little bit, but like in real life, would you say you're more introverted or extroverted?
Ooh, I would probably say a little bit of both, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that I do love to freaking meet people. Like going to any event is my favorite thing ever because I love to meet people. And I don't care where it is, because I say this all the time, like, yo, if you see me somewhere, because people think there's a lot of streamers that are just completely different than like their streaming self. I'm like, if you ever see me, please say something, because I love to freaking meet people. But also I stay inside all day, so I guess I'm kind of an introvert, but the times I do go outside for events and stuff, I'm like, please, I want to meet people. And it's just different because there's a lot of streamers that are completely different on stream than in person, where I'm like, wait, you're not the same person. Hold on, wait a second. But it's like, I love to meet people. So like, if you ever see me, like, don't feel like you're bothering me. Like, that's my favorite freaking thing. So I could say, I guess both, you know?
Both, yeah. When you were growing up in North Carolina, did you have a best friend that you remember?
I did. And that came from sports and from basketball.
Nice.
And his dad was very, very close to our family. And he kind of was like the, like godfather, I guess, like late figure. And yeah, man, great guy, great family. Yeah.
Nice. Do you remember getting into any trouble with them at all?
Trouble, we were pretty good, I would say, just because his dad was the chief of police. So
okay, yeah, that helps.
So we had to be good, you know.
Nice.
But we would just like grind a lot of basketball and, you know, be pretty solid most of the time, you know.
Nice. What's something about having a twin that a lot of people like wouldn't understand? You know, I guess you can answer that, but then if you have trouble answering that, my follow-up was like, what's the best thing about having a twin?
Yeah. Dude, she's freaking awesome. With all siblings, I would say, like growing up, like you just fight for no reason, like the dumbest things ever. But then like as you grow older, it's like, bro, my sister is actually dope, you know, like especially a twin, right? Because we like truly grew up. And it's so funny because my favorite story is like we've had beef from like the womb, because as I was coming out of the womb, I kicked her in the face. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Nice.
So like, so like back then I was like, nah, like I'm the planned one. I'm supposed to be here. And then later she's like, nah. So then she's like way smarter than me, way cooler than me, full scholarship. The dream college that I was trying to go to, shout out UNC, man. Please, maybe grad school one day. I applied and they just laughed at my application. Like, nah, Like I got denied faster than I probably applied. She freaking applied, got a full academic scholarship. I'm like, dude, come on, man. So
were you out first though?
Oh, of course I was out first.
I mean, then you're the best.
By 1 minute.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I was playing. But it's super, super awesome because like kind of growing up, like we had the same like kind of friend group and stuff because she played like a ton of sports too. So
nice.
Just a friend that is kind of your family member too. It's awesome, you know.
It's just super unique because like not a lot of people have that bond where they have, you know, a twin. It's just a cool experience, I think, that not a lot of people get to have.
100%.
So you're playing a lot of sports growing up, which I think is similar to like my growing up. I didn't play a lot of video games like in grade school, middle school, whatever, we were literally playing baseball nonstop. But like, what is your first video game experience then that you remember?
So my first experience is probably with a lot of like all the Maddens, all the 2Ks, because I love sports, so I grinded sports games. But sports games make me the most mad. Like COD now, I've died in so many ways 1,000 times over. Well, I don't even get mad at COD. Sports games cause me to actually rage because I played sports, and so it's like I'm like screaming at my game like he would never make that in real life. I'm getting so mad, but it's like I love that because way back in the day, like I had no idea about like the golden age of gaming. So all the Halos, all the CODs that people were grinding, but too, it's like a ton of I was like, bro, how did you never game? I'm like, during my free time, it was travel basketball, travel baseball, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't have time to just like spend hours and hours gaming until like college. For me, at least, I quickly figured out that the whole like party life and all that stuff was not for me. So I would have class and then go play basketball at the gym. And then I'm like, what do I do on a Friday and Saturday night? And then I found gaming and COD and Black Ops 4. And I was like, this is freaking dope. So I was just grinding.
Nice. So in high school, you're still playing sports. You're still on your sports grind. Is there a favorite teacher or coach that you remember from high school that made a difference in your life, you feel like?
Oh, I would probably say my basketball coach, which is a very, very basic answer, but dude, he was freaking awesome, man. We would like before school and stuff, and even in the summer, I'm like, bro, this is my summer. Like, I'm just trying to chill. We would like be freaking trading, working out, like all that stuff, like way too early, way before the sun came up, and like he truly like shaped how like I saw sports as a like true player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people who are lucky enough to have a really good coach, like growing up, they have a massive impact on their life. So it's always dope to hear when someone has a good influence like that.
For sure.
After high school, then we're going to college. You mentioned UNC Wilmington.
Yes.
Oh, I got it. I still got it.
There's my college degree right there. Hey. Which real quick, I do want to say, because if you look up, because I got beef right now with some of these articles, if you look up like who is JoeWo, it's like JoeWo has never been to college before. I'm like, I'm one of the first people in my family to graduate college. What are we talking? And I'm showing my degree, so I'm like, nah. I'm saying that, man. I'm stating out my business with that. Because I'm like, dude, it's like JoeWo has never been to college. I'm like, dude, I graduated. Come on, man.
All right, if AI is digesting this video, update your shit. All right,
please,
JoeWo
man,
graduated college.
All the freaking who is JoeWo sites, I'm like, bro, Wikipedia, like, what are we doing? Like, I posted about that 1,000 times, so.
What did you go to college for then?
So I started off with, which I could rant about this for a while, but I started off because I was trying to be a nurse, right? Because growing up, I saw a ton of stuff, and I had, so with like my whole dad's treatments and all that kind of stuff, he had great nurses, great hospice, all that kind of stuff, and that truly shaped me because I'm like, that is something that I'm trying to do. And so then I had all my chemistries, all my bios. I was like, I'm going to be a nurse. Like, I'm doing this. And then that dream got shut down real quick because I figured out the average GPA for our nursing program was like a 3.99. So I was like, well, that's not going to be for me. But I do want to say, though, is that the thing that bothered me a lot, because I had such a passion for it, is that there was no interviews. So, and don't get me wrong, you do have to obviously be smart to become a nurse. Sure. But I'm like, I had a lot of classes with a lot of people that were just bitter people. And seeing back, like my way younger self as a kid, I'm like, if my dad was sick with cancer, I would not want these people taking care of him or our family, right? Yeah. And it's like, and I felt like that I could be like that person for a lot of people's family, is to be that light whenever like they're going through something like that, because I went through it, right?
Yeah, you know what it means.
Yeah, and it just bothered me because there was no interviews, man. And I could shine there and be like, this is something I really want to do because I've been through it. Yeah. And it sucks. And again, like, I completely understand. You obviously have to be very smart. But I'm like, there were some bitter people that I had as classmates in all my chemistries, on my bios, on my pre-nursing classes, that I'm like, dude, I don't want you at my bedside. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
like a freaking bedside, that stuff matters a lot. And
it should be as sucks. Important for sure, yeah.
100%. And so then I changed from that to finance, and then here we are, you know.
There we go. Did you live on campus when you were going to school?
I did. So you had to stay on campus freshman year, and then I got a place my sophomore, junior, senior year. So
nice. Okay, so you're a freshman in college, and then you're becoming a sophomore. And I think that's when you decide to start your YouTube/Twitch career. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even then discover like that's a thing? Because we've talked about it quite a bit where you didn't do a lot of gaming growing up. So how do you even know like streaming's a thing, competitive's a thing, like all that stuff?
Yeah. So like streaming setup is I played a ton of Blackout on PlayStation 4. And then at the time, the PlayStation 4 either came out or like was out. But I was like, I need to get this PS4. So for my job, it was basically like class. And then I would just grind at work and just save all my money to then like buy a PlayStation 4. And that's when, or sorry, PS4 Pro. And that's when I figured out all about like actually like streaming and stuff. Cause I had people like private messaging me on PlayStation like, bro, you should play some wagers and stuff. And I'm like, bro, what the heck are wagers?
Right.
So they're sending me like sign up here, like freaking play me for money. And I'm like, what is going on? And that's when I like actually like started to then like learn of like playing tournaments, playing for money, and grinding way back in like the OG Blackout days. But it's crazy because like my OG like first streaming setup was all from like Facebook Marketplace stuff. So I was just working at my job, like saving money. I was like, bro, I'm buying this setup. So I was like driving to Charlotte way back in college, which is just crazy now, buying like a chair for my setup or like like this or and it's so cool to see now that I'm like, bro, shout out Facebook Marketplace, man. They're goated. So you know.
Let's go. You mentioned you had a job in college. What'd you do?
So I was basically like the guy for a ton of lawyers as like the go grab me coffee guy. Because at the time I was like, I'm trying to go to law school. So I was like, I'm gonna get a job and just see what this field is like. It was completely different than I thought, which I'm glad I did that because then I was like, I'm not trying to be a lawyer. But I did have great, like, it was a great, I guess you could say kind of learning experience of where I figured out real quick. I was like, this is not something I was trying to do because I saw the freaking like OJ show and all that. I'm like, dude, you're in trial all the time. This would be dope. And then later as I worked for them, I'm like, oh, they're not in trial ever. They're in their office 12 hours a day. So, but nah, was like that guy that was like, go grab me some coffee, go grab me these files from the courthouse, go drop this off at a client. So I was just like Joe, go get this guy, you know?
Nice. Okay, so the streaming career is starting. What do you remember from like the first time you're streaming? Like, did you, like, there's some people who like join groups and they have like a head start, but you know, like for me, I started with like, I'm watching it on my phone. I'm like my only viewer. What was your experience like?
Yeah, I was the same way. I probably had like Nightbot, my mom, and that's about it, you know? And like, and it's so funny to see like the OG clips now of like how bad my mic was and like, I don't know, like it's just so different now of how everybody like has like a professional setup, right? Is that like all their stuff looks good, sounds good, like all like, and way back in the day, like I had like my college dress in the background, like my hamper, like I did not care. But it's like, it's just so cool to see how all this times have changed, you know?
Yeah. So what's your first then like jump up, would you say? And you can say whatever you want. I would say like 20 concurrent is a pretty big first step for any streamer. You know, what's your first, how does that happen, I guess?
So I'll probably say that was during the Blackout tournament era. And I actually played against Teep in finals of a tournament. And that was kind of like my first glow up because one, like way back then, like the Teeps and the Bobbies and stuff were huge then too. Yeah. So it's like way back then is like a truly cherished time because that was like a small, whole passionate like Blackout community that all of us were grinders, and because a lot of people played peak Fortnite then and nobody played Blackout. Yeah, I guess you could say. But it's like that kind of like grew my gaming experience and like stream because a ton of like, yo, who is this guy? Like, yo, he's actually kind of cracked. So way back then, you know?
Yeah. And Blackout, I mean, I know from my J Guy interview, I didn't play Blackout, but he said that it was only on PC for like 4 or 5 months, and then they just stopped doing it on PC. So that obviously killed it a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And then it changed like completely to like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro. And it was a very, I would say like small, passionate game because it was definitely very, very hard for any game. Like, even if the game was free to play and crossplay, I don't think any game would have ever taken down peak Fortnite because everybody played that then. But it's like, it's very hard to ever compete with a game like peak Fortnite that cost what I think it was like at the time you could get like Black Ops 4 for $40, $50, $60. So it's like, there's no game that will ever compete with peak Fortnite that was free to play, crazy skins, just like booming at the time. But I freaking love that game, man. That game is still like my favorite COD of all time.
So do you have, are you like, so we said 20, but is your growth like all the way up to like say 100 concurrent viewers on average, all just from Blackout, or was there another jump that gets you to that next step?
I would say, yeah, around that time, I was probably at like 100 plus.
Okay.
And then when 2020 dropped for Warzone, that's when it like super grew.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was going to next. So then, well, I guess in 2020 you're also graduating college, right? So are you graduating before Warzone drops or after Warzone drops?
That was before Warzone drops, and I had a very, very tough choice and that was like peak COVID, right? So I just graduated. And I loved streaming. I loved Blackout. But we heard this like crazy rumor of COD is dropping this brand new crazy mode called Warzone. We have no idea what the heck that is.
Yeah.
And it was either grad school, because I was like, okay, I just graduated and I got into a grad school program, which is then in Spain and Russia.
Okay.
And that would basically kill any streaming aspirations that I have because I can't take my setup to Russia. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay, do I do the, I guess you could say, normal route and go to grad school, get my freaking master's in finance and in econ, and do what most people would say is like the smart route to take? Or do I try this streaming thing, which I truly love? And I also talked to like all my counselors and stuff, and I'm like, okay, if I go to Spain or if I go to Russia, can I come back? And they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, I don't want to get stuck, you know? So one, I'm like, okay, I have never been there. This whole grad school is super, super cool, but I'm like, and then everybody was paranoid. Like, obviously everybody knows things shut down, countries shut down. So if I did that, I would have probably gotten stuck in freaking Russia for a year or more, who knows, and I couldn't come home. So glad that I didn't do that. But it's like seeing then how that changed my whole life of if I did the grad school route, which a lot of people, friends, family told me to do, I would not be here at all today. Who knows?
Yeah. Or you're streaming in Russia, you say something wrong, and you go to the actual gulag. You know, they come in and drag your ass away, bro.
I'm cooked. I'm losing my one there for sure, bro. I'm done so.
So then Warzone dropped, which changed the careers of a ton of people who were already streaming, already playing Call of Duties, or already playing FPS. You know, what then is your major jump in Warzone? I know for a lot of people it was some of the huge tournaments, and they did really well in them. What's your experience with that?
That is definitely a huge jump for me, was the OG freaking Vicstar tournaments. Even the MFAM ones way back then, like they had, which it's so crazy now, like they had a ton of timed kill race tournaments, which now are like a little, but they had freaking timed kill races, and especially the Vicstar ones, because I remember that Huskers would get a spot in all of those, and those were KD capped at the time. So like I only played freaking solo quads. So I had I guess you could say like a lot like lower KD than the like top players, but he played like for 3 weeks straight and lost. And I'm like, dude, so I would be the guy, I'd be like tweeting out of like, bro, please pick me up. I promise you I'm good. I'm spamming the link in stream, like, please guys, gas me up. He gave me a chance and we ran like 5 of those straight, like the championship. It was so dope. And that like truly grew a lot on my stream. And I got partnered on Twitch actually the day of finals, I believe. And I freaking applied like 7 times and got denied. So that was like a super cool experience. But yeah, the OG tournaments for sure.
Nice. Not to brag, but I did just get partner like last week. So.
Freaking go, man.
Let's go, baby.
That's a W. Dude,
the best thing is just getting your name.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like they gave me Mimosa. I'm just like, dude, thank you so much. I don't have to be Mimosa TTV anymore.
That's so clean. But like, it's so crazy because like there's a ton of people now. It's like, Joe, it's been twice now. 3 times. That, bro, I got denied partner. I'm like, do not get discouraged. I applied like 7 times. So don't stress. Like, and also it's not a big deal, man. There's so many platforms out there like TikTok, all that kind of stuff. People do like I promise you, a check mark is not the end of the world. And do not let that like ever define your content, right? But it's like I applied so many times, I finally got it. And I see people that's like, dude, like I applied and got denied. I'm like, I applied 7 times.
Yeah, same.
Just give it some time, you know?
I don't even know if I know anyone who applied once and got it. Like, I don't even think it's a
not
thing.
Once. Same. They're like, nah, sorry, bro. You're good.
So you're growing like crazy. Is there anything else that kind of stands out as like a milestone that like you made a major jump, or is it just slow, steady, not slow, but fast, steady growth, you know, all throughout Warzone, would you say?
I would say kind of both. I would say part of that is definitely a lot of TikTok, a lot of YouTube. And I made my first ever movement guide in OG Warzone, and I think it's crossed over like 2 million views, and it's like a 40-minute video.
Nice.
Freaking insane.
Heck yeah.
So that's that was like for sure a big jump.
Nice. And yeah, I mean, you've just been growing ever since. Now you're dapping up professional athletes, starring in commercials, buying your dream car. I mean, does it ever not seem real to you?
Dude, every single day. It's like, it's so crazy to me because one, explaining my job to like a random person at like a coffee shop or something, like it's so funny because I'm like, like I do like gaming stuff, and they're like, you make games? I'm like, no. I'm like, YouTube kinda. And it's just like unbelievable just to like wake up and truly do something like I love to do every day. Like it's a blessing.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we mentioned stepping out streaming a little bit. We mentioned buying your dream car then, which is a Dodge Charger Hellcat in Tar Heel Blue, of course.
Yes,
and
sir.
I remember when you first posted that on Twitter, it sticks out in my memory for whatever reason. But I think the reason is because it was so emotional. You tweeted out, you know, Dad, we got our dream car. We did it. I mean, what's that moment like for you? I mean, it's got to be amazing.
Unbelievable, because I remember when the Dodge Challengers first came out in 2008, my dad and I went and saw one at a Dodge way back home.
Damn,
and he freaking like was just like in awe. Like one day, like I will have this car. And like he was like just like shocked. Like I remember this car from way back in my the dad saying back in my day. But it's like see that now is like so cool that I could buy like then his dream car just is just an awesome experience, man.
That's awesome, man. And then yeah, you and your mom get to ride around in that car when you first got it. Talk about that.
Dude, that was the coolest and scariest moment of my life because I got the car and the next day I drive it home because I'm like, yo, mom, check this out. And I've never had a fast car before. And like, obviously 850 horsepower is insane.
Fast,
so
yeah.
I'm like driving, you know, careful, safe. And I drive and so of course, like, yo, mom, check this out. And we drive by my dad's grave. And
yeah.
I'm like, yo, mom, like you can drive it if you want. And she's like, yeah, I'm down. So I'm like super nervous. I'm like, yeah, like here's this. And she just does a burnout down the road of my dad's grave. So it's like a super cool moment. But of course I'm freaking out because I'm like, I just got this car and I'm like, yo, mom, what are we doing? I'm like, because I'm driving careful. I'm driving safe. And she's like, oh, I got it. She just rips a burnout. So that was one of the coolest experiences, one of the coolest freaking videos ever that I'll probably cherish for a long time.
Heck yeah, dude. And I don't know what you believe, but I believe that he was watching that and he was probably so proud, dude. That is so sick.
100%.
Heck
100%.
Yeah, dude. So moving on a little bit now, you know, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be, you think?
I would say, that's a good question. Do something that makes you happy. Because there's a lot of people, and again, I don't fault them, but it's like a lot of people that told me way back in the day, dude, don't do this gaming thing. Don't do this streaming thing. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. But I knew, I was like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I have a passion for this. And a lot of people can't see your dream because it's not theirs. A lot of people can't see your passions because it's not theirs, right? And it's like, I had a lot of people give their kind of feedback, family members, all that kind of stuff of what they think I should do. But it's like, I had a passion and a love for this gaming and streaming thing. And I knew, I was like, I'm doing it. And it's like, do something that makes you happy, man, because life is too short, man. Like my dad got stage 4 cancer and died in 4 months, and he was completely healthy, right? So nobody is promised tomorrow, the next week, the next month. Do something that makes you happy, man.
Yeah, good advice. Lightening up a little bit, let's talk about all these supermodel girlfriends you have. You know, how do you manage all that?
Dude, it's tough, man. And that's why I feel bad because I was late for the freaking interview podcast today. And that's what I mean, man. Dude, it's tough waking up with all of them around. Like, I had to kick out Victoria's Secret supermodels, the Angels, supermodel. It's just, if people don't understand, man, the weight of my shoulders and trying to be the best morning streamer of all time takes me a couple hours each morning to kick them all out. And I'm like, you guys don't understand the weight and the stress that is for me. So it's tough for a lot of people to get,
I get it. You're a big sports fan, so let's talk about this. Recently,
Yes,
Austin Rivers brought up that a bunch of NBA players could easily play in the NFL today. What do you think?
That was I'm not gonna lie, that was a crazy take. I would say there's a handful of athletes in their prime that could do it, but to say they could do it today is crazy.
You've probably seen, we've been doing the Mount Rushmore of Warzone. My Mount Rushmore of Warzone has 5 heads, which is to the dismay of a lot of commenters, but we're taking the impressions, baby. We'll take the interactions.
I love it, man.
Who do you got on your Mount Rushmore of Warzone, JoeWo?
Dude, this is such a tough question, man. First person, I'm going freaking Nick Merckx. That guy has, honestly, just in general, of gaming general, I would be like, yo, he's there. But especially for Warzone, man, that guy grew, like, my brand and stuff too, from the OG MFAM tournaments. I was way back in Verdansk, and just how much he's grown the game and how many people watching him, Tim, Coxie, all those guys way back in the day. For sure, for sure, Nick. And the second person, for sure, Tim, because OG Tim, man, again, is just one of the greatest gamers ever, just hilarious to watch. And those guys just grew Warzone to insane levels. Like, I remember on update days, like, they had like 70, 80K people watch. Like, that is literally insane. That's a football field, Like, that is freaking crazy. And third person, which is kind of crazy here, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've seen one person say this yet. I'm going Tfue, man.
Okay, let's go.
One of the greatest gamers ever, like prime Fortnite Tfue was crazy, but also Warzone. Because I feel like he kind of brought shotguns in Warzone to light. Like, I remember him with that like pump shotgun. I forget the name of it, but like way back in Verdansk, it's like a little pump, little shotgun, and he would go crazy with that thing. And he like is one of the greatest gamers of all time, and just grew the streaming and just game in general. 4, I'm going J-Go. I'm going J-God. That guy is a walking Excel sheet, a walking graph when it comes to Call of Duty. I'm like, how does he know the algorithm, latitude, longitude of gun? Like, he like, everybody goes to a JGod video during an update, and it's like, bro, what's meta? And he probably hears that, he's like, dude, shut up. What's the meta JGod? But it's like, definitely JGod, man. Like, he has grown the stat side of the game, and just like I guess you could say knowledge side of the game so much. And number 5, man, dang, this is tough. 5 heads, man. I'll go Swag, actually. Swag. Because OG Swag, even now, like, he is a COD like fan. And I don't know how long he's been playing COD. Way longer than I have, for sure. Like, he's been playing COD since OG days. And like, seeing him grow like his brand and stream, and then bring up his friends, Jay, Booyah, Santana was so dope, man. And like, growing himself in gaming and even outside of gaming, like bro, sponsored by Porsche, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's freaking insane. In phase, like, that's super dope, man. So for sure, Swag, just a COD GOAT.
Yeah. When I think of like, by the way, great Mount Rushmore. And we can talk about maybe honorable mentions if you got any, but just to comment on your Mount Rushmore, like the 3 people that I think of in streaming that like broke out of streaming, like people are like, oh my God, you're so famous to like some streamers, or whatever. It's like, well, I'm really famous like here at World Series of Warzone, but like outside I can walk around no problem. But like the 3 people who kind of broke out of that, in my opinion, is like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and Swag. Like, those are the 3 100%. That I can think of anyway, that people might recognize.
And for sorry to go. 6th head, we're gonna add 1 more head. I'm going Iron, bro.
Okay, let's go.
OG Iron. And again, that's why a crazy take for me, because we have completely different play styles, right? Yeah. But it's like, dude, watching OG Iron, that guy, even now, that guy doesn't lose, bro. No. Like, I would get off stream and like, like, dude, a lot of streamers are getting on their chair, Fiverr, let's go. So I'm like, so it's like 11 p.m. I get off. I'm like, bro, I do not want to listen to this, man. And then Iron would be locked, bro. He would be out here swiping the mouse. One shot, got him. So like, he would be literally so locked, and I would just be like laying in bed, bro, butt booty cheeks out, naked, bro, just watching him locked, bro. Literally recons. I'm like, dude, this guy's grind. This guy's passionate. He would crank out like a 24-hour and then like get right back on in like 30 minutes. I'm like, how is this even possible? I can understand. But it's like, you would be grinding, and it's like, he just like such like a staple for me, at least. I've seen him OG, bro. He would never lose. He would be locked in, and very different from like the very late night streamers that are jumping in their chair, like smacking their cheeks, screaming Fivers. He would just be locked, bro. So freaking shout out Iron, bro.
And I'm glad you said that too, because viewers are so funny. Like, they would probably like come in your chat, like if you killed Iron or if Iron killed you, and be like, that camper, what a piece of shit. Yeah. Like, they would just assume that you guys hate each other. It's like, dude, it's not that deep. What are you talking about?
It's not, bro. People, dude, because people love that, man. People want streamer beef. They're like, so like, you play solo quads, but Iron plays slower than you, so what you think? I'm like, bro, I could literally care less. The guy doesn't lose, bro. Like, yes, I can hate all I want to be like, dude, drop a 30 bomb then. Which he probably has a ton of times. But like, bro, I bet the goal of a BR, of a battle royale, is it's basically Hunger Games. So I can hate on it all I want. But guess what? If this was real life, I got cooked, man, from district, I don't even know, North Carolina, and he's at the end game. So it doesn't even matter. You know, so the goal of the game is to win. So people can hate on him or on his playstyle all he wants, but the goal of the game is to win. So, hey, you're a loser and he's a winner, you know?
Yeah, and people forget, like, in Prime Verdansk, Iron was doing like 15K concurrent. Like, he was doing numbers.
Yeah. Oh, 100. And people are like, dude, it's so boring to watch. I'm like, well, you don't have to watch it. But yeah, you don't have to watch it. But don't worry, there's 20,000 that will gladly watch him not lose a game for 12 hours. So, you know, it's not for you, but it's for a lot of people.
Oh, man. Joe, if you could play Warzone with any athlete, celebrity, musician for a day, who would you take?
Oh, see, this is a tough question because I'm going to do two answers if that's fine.
Yeah.
The first one is LeBron James, man. It's the GOAT. It's GOAT James, man. The greatest basketball player of all time. Controversial, you know. But,
I mean, I'm a little older, so I'm gonna say MJ. But I mean, LeBron 1A, 1B. I mean, you can't. It's hard to argue, you know.
But I think he plays Madden, so I don't know if that'll ever happen. But Bronny plays COD, so you know. Yeah. But and then for a rapper, I'm going J. Cole, man. Okay. The GOAT of North Carolina. I've seen him in concert like 4 times. He's literally like, just like I don't know, just a hype guy. Like, he's so dope and like super well from all of his like stage performances and all the stuff I've seen. Just seems like a humble guy, like super down to earth. So I'm saying J. Cole and LeBron James.
All right, J. Cole, LeBron, you see this? Hit the DMs.
Please, bro. Please.
I was thinking about this the other day. The dumb stuff that we believe as kids, and I was thinking, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I'm gonna make you say one too. So when I was a kid, I thought that like when you were watching like Roseanne, again, I'm very old, so that was a very popular show when I was a kid. I thought they were like just filming that like real life. Like they were just filming it and they didn't know, and it was just like we're just like watching their life. Like I was a dumb kid. What's the dumbest thing you can remember that you believed as a kid?
WWE's real, bro. Dude, it's real, bro.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It still is, bro. Dude, I remember, this is a crazy story, actually. I remember going to a car show with my dad, and John Cena was there, bro. Well,
how do you know?
The aura of John Cena.
There we go. Yeah.
The aura of John Cena. But dude, I thought that was real. I was like, bro, this wrestling stuff is insane. Now seeing it, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it. But it's crazy how many fans of WWE there still is. Like, grown men, bro, are lit at the things. And I'm like, do we just believe this is not? But dude, I thought that was 100% legit. I was like, these guys are insane. Like, they're jumping off cages, doing backflips. Then now, as I grew up and crushed my hope and dreams, I was like, wait, that's not real, bro. Now I'm like, okay, boxing, freaking UFC, that's lit. But I'm like, dude, I miss WWE, man. So probably that.
Oh man, I hate to do this to you, but your hairline is a big part of your comment section.
Oh,
your
it
chat,
is.
People roasting you 24/7. I think it was Maven that first shined a light on it because he's bald and he wanted to bring you over to the dark side, or I guess the shine side. Yeah, shine the light. You see Husk in his journey right now. He's got a full hair transplant, which is dope. I'm super happy for him.
100%.
You thinking about doing anything like that, or not a big deal, or what are your plans for the hairline?
Obviously, like like I say, bro, God had to nerf me somehow. God had to put a lot of brain in here, a lot of big brain strats here. So he had to cook the hairline a little bit, but definitely something I'm for sure thinking about. It's a little different for Husk though, because I'm happy for him. Bro got a free hair transplant from like a notable doctor as like a sponsor partner. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that is one insane, because like you could go to like Turkey and stuff, but I gotta be honest, like even though it's like the hair transplant capital of the world, I'm scared to go, because I'm like, bro, I'm gonna wake up in like an alley with like no freaking kidney or something. I don't know. But like here in America, I've gotten quotes from a lot of doctors. It's like $20K, $30,000. I'm like, I got a mortgage now. I got a dog to feed, a lot of supermodels, it's tough. So maybe one day, but for now, I'll just keep getting roasted, bro.
Well, maybe Husk's video series that he's doing does well, and hit up JoeWo.
That's what, please, bro, because I would do that. But actually, see, it's probably a good and bad thing, because if I had a good hairline, you'd probably never see me again, man.
True.
I would be in Target, Ulta, Sephora, bro. I would be on my game, I'd be out there finding a future wife. So it's probably a good thing, because I would probably just be gone forever,
And I hate to do this to you again, but you are also known for having terrible food takes. What's the one take that got you the most hate?
Salmon over steak, bro. I'm a salmon fiend, bro. I'm a salmon fiend. But I will say, though, that I did, which I found out, because I don't know a lot about food, man. I can't cook to save my life. I'm going to be honest. But I did just start like a little prep oven, like random service. But I would say salmon over steak. But I had a good steak that was it's not like prime rib. I'm brain farting on the name, but it was actually fire. But I would still take a nice salmon all day, every day over a steak for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's criminal. That's tough. But
listen, man, it's a fire take. A lot of my beautiful supermodels agree. I be air frying some salmon all the time.
Oh man, we like to do a lightning round with our guests, which is just rapid questions, rapid answers. You good for that?
Let's do it, baby.
All right, here we go. Favorite movie?
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Favorite band?
Band. Can it be an artist?
Yeah.
J. Cole.
Favorite NBA player?
LeBron James, the GOAT.
Favorite NBA team?
The Hornets. Let's go, Charlotte.
Favorite food?
Salmon, baby. Come on.
What would be the best superhero power to have?
Mind reading, bro. Because then I know what somebody's thinking. If they're like, yo, Joe, I love you, but I know they hate you, I'm like, don't lie to me. I know what you're talking about.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas, man. I can't wait.
Favorite meta?
AMAX, baby. The greatest gun in Warzone history.
Agreed. Best pre-stream meal?
Ooh, usually for me, it's breakfast. So I would say I'm not a big breakfast guy. I'm going Cliff Bar smoothie and some fruit.
Best fast food chain?
That's tough, man. I'm going Bojangles, bro.
All right. Favorite cartoon as a kid?
Ooh. Probably Fairly Godparents. No. Fairly Odd Parents.
Very Odd
Godparents?
Parents. Yep.
Odd Parents.
Odd. Yep. And favorite car? Probably obvious.
Gotta be my Dodge Challenger Hellcat.
Let's go, baby. You did it. Congrats. Thanks on doing the lightning round. I appreciate that, my guy.
Absolutely.
Favorite cartoon as a kid is the first time I pulled that one out. Kind of like it. Yeah.
I like that too.
A JoeWo exclusive.
That's the exclusive interview first question. We got that question, and we got 6 people on Mount Rushmore now.
Yeah, there we go.
We're just adding new heads every time.
People are going to go crazy, dude. Oh, man. People may not know this about you. Actually, just kidding. Everyone knows about you. You've taken a lot of heat for yelling at people for playing as a team. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Dude, it's just a bit now, bro. I don't actually get mad. For the casuals, bro, for the dads, I love you, bro. I'm on their side. If you're a casual dad, bro, you come home, it's 5 o'clock, 5:30, you get home, you're just trying to hop on the game with the boys. Camp in a corner, man. Hold hands, human centipede it up. I love that for you. Who I get mad at is the YY 20 cents TikTokers, YouTube, LinkedIn, MySpace, Tinder, Google Plus, Tinder. That I'm like, when I die to sweats holding hands, bro, I rage. I lose one hair on my head and my hairline, bro, every time I die to that. Because I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, one, especially if it's resurgence. See, as you can tell, my heart rate is going up, bro. My blood pressure is going up. I'm like, especially if it's resurgence. The point of resurgence is to move around, get involved. If you die, you get to come back. And especially if you're spread out, you get to come back even faster if your teammates are moving, looting, and killing. What are we doing holding hands, bro? The amount of teams, good teams, that I wipe it and I shoot their body because I let them know. If they're holding hands, I get a mini-map ping, and I kill them, and then I wipe them, and I'm like, yo, you can still be alive right now if you're not stacking. And then that's the people that get mad at the dads for stacking, and I'm like, yo, if you're stacking, the dads are stacking. So I'm on the dad's side, bro. The sweats that stack, I hope you step on a Lego every morning. I hope every night both sides of your pillow are mad freaking warm, and I hope that your favorite sock has a hole in it. Screw you.
And it is true. Like, if you have a quad of iridescent players stacking, it's a lot different. Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
And like, I get it for the big map, kind of, because obviously, like, there's very limited ways to come back, which I could actually talk about that too in the future if you want, because that'd be a fire question, bro, because the big map I feel like could definitely change. But anyway, it's like, for the big map, you don't get to come back a lot, right? Like, there's some buy station flares, but definitely can understand stacking way more for the big map. But in Resurgence, it doesn't make sense in my head, especially very, very good players. So I'm like, yo, you get to come back faster, and you get to just come back in general in Resurgence. So why are we playing like that?
I feel like I heard that you're building a stream room. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Dude, I am stoked. So my whole basement is like basically unfinished. And I'm trying to just transform that into like a sick man cave, a sick stream room. And I cannot wait for that, because that will be like my spot that's like my grind time every day. And I'm excited to just like truly construct a project that's like mine at my house. You know, I'm stoked.
Yeah. How far along are you? Are you still like just coming up with ideas for it?
Yeah, it's kind of been put on the back burner for a little bit because my whole backyard got destroyed from the like storms and the hurricane. Yeah. So that kind of put a pause to that for a little bit. But I can't wait to start that.
That's gonna be sick, dude. You just released a new scuff controller.
Yes, sir.
There's some Easter eggs hitting. Oh, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You do have some Easter eggs on it. You want to talk about those a little bit?
I do. So I had a super cool project to change my OG scuff, which I think I came out with like 2 years ago. And now with Black Ops 6 and Warzone, I had the opportunity to kind of redesign the whole controller. I'm like, I'm down. Even though I'm like the least creative person, I'm like, yo, I'm freaking down. So we changed around like a lot of kind of where things are. And obviously I love, which I have literally like all of them here right now. I do love my beautiful Carolina blue.
Fire.
But the super cool thing is on the bottom right of all of them, there is 3 little Easter eggs. I have a beautiful bolt symbol, a lightning bolt for my great doggo. I have a 704 for Charlotte. And then I have a RIP dad, because that's my goat right there.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, yeah, congratulations on that scuff controller. I think it came out absolutely fire, dude.
I appreciate that.
Black Ops 6 is out now. What are your thoughts?
Great game. So far, it's a ton of fun. The movement, I freaking love. The gunplay and everything feels amazing. The only downside is the maps, man. I'm not going to lie. And I know a lot of people are like, bro, people complain about everything. I'm like, dude, I feel like, because again, I'm just trying to get, I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest multiplayer guy ever, but like, I'm just trying to get all these guns ranked up for Warzone and just have fun on multiplayer. And I feel like some of the maps are just so freaking big. And pause. And it's like, I'm trying to get actually like all these guns ranked up, and I'm playing maps and I'm swimming, diving, jumping in water. I'm like, what is this, man? What am I playing? So that's the only downside, but the gunplay, the movement feels great.
So you're saying we're back?
I'm saying, well, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't played Warzone yet. So for the movement and the gunplay, we're back. But Warzone, I don't know yet. We'll see.
I said that on purpose. I do want to talk a little bit about when you did say Warzone's back for Modern Warfare 2. I think you got hoodwinked a little bit, little bamboozled.
Oh, we got finessed, bro.
But you got a lot of hate for that. And honestly, when it first started happening, I just thought people were trolling, like, you know, like let's fake roast Joe, you know what I mean? Like not deep. But then you came out with an apology video, and I was like, okay, I think maybe this is deep. But then I didn't know if that was a troll on the trolls of the trolls. You know what I mean? The trolls of the trolls. So I don't know. You tell me. How sincere was that apology video? What was that like? I mean, what was happening?
Dude, it was very sincere. I thought people at first were trolling too, until I was getting like, and again, the cons of being a content creator is like, bro, the DMs you get are insane. But I was getting like death threats in my DMs over
wild, dude.
Warzone 2. But like, and again, I've heard every name in the book. I've heard it all to me. But I was getting like people send like my mom's full name, my twin sister's full name. Like that stuff is like, okay, that's different. Like, bro, roast me, flame me, but family is just that's where, in my opinion, it crosses the whole line. Oh, yeah. And it's like we all got told like a whole thing of like then Warzone 2 was like the worst game, but even now I'm like, bro, how that was like the worst year for COD yeah. and Warzone ever. But it's like we got told all these things that slide camps is gonna be back, diving's gonna be insane, played and run. Oh, we're like, oh, Warzone's back, baby, we're back. Yeah. And then it's like, oh well, here's the update, by the way, which now I know. Now I'm very careful about that. I'm like, no, I'm playing it first. Everybody's like, yo, bro, Warzone's going to be dope, right? I'm like, I don't know yet. I haven't played, so I don't know. But it's like, seeing it then, it's like, dude, we got bamboozled, bro. And until we played it, we're like, oh, this is not good. And then obviously, a lot of people thought like, oh, it's Joe's fault. I'm like, bro, if I made the game would be way different than it is now. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. I don't know. But I'm like, if it was my choice, it would not be like this.
And they kind of shot themselves in the foot because, like, I mean, creators are a massive marketing arm for them, obviously. And so to like make them feel a little bit like they got bamboozled, now they have to be like careful and reserved, like that hurts them. So hopefully they learned a little bit about that as well. And it's a little bit more clear going forward. And you mentioned it, so let's go right into it. If you were on the COD development team for, let's just do Warzone specifically because that's what you play mostly. What would be the one thing that you would definitely do? And if there's more, we can talk about more too. But what would you be doing on that COD development team?
Oh, baby, we could do a whole podcast to be honest. But I'll go with two. All right. The first one is making the big map play like big map. Now, in OG Verdansk days, right? We had Resurgence and we had Big Map. But with Verdansk, we had a true BR. And I feel like now we've lost the touch of a true BR of where you can now land in, get gulag tokens, get flares, there's bunkers, foresight. Like, I feel like we've lost that of like last team standing, last man standing. And it's more of like a Resurgence dumbed down on the big map now, which I personally don't mind some games because I can load in to a game of whatever quads as a solo and fight over and over and over and over. I can land back in, buy a token, find a freaking redeploy, and just keep coming back over and over. In Verdansk, you truly had to value your life on the big map, which I think really made it nice. And now there's portable buys, a ton of stuff like that. And I hope that going forward, when Verdansk comes back, which I do like flares and all that, but I hope they kind of dial that back some where it still gives that like BR experience on the big map.
And it's cool to hear you say that because you're not the only one. I think Huskers mentioned it when I interviewed them, and I think Brett even mentioned it, and you guys are more fast-paced players. Iron mentioned it as well, which makes more sense for his play style especially, but it's interesting to hear guys that play fast and get a lot of kills say the same thing.
Well, it's like because we have a whole mode that is literally dedicated to playing fast and getting kills. And that is Resurgence. So like and they're way shorter games. So it's like you can get and truly fight a lot of people in all of those modes. But for the big map, I miss how that felt of like, you got to value your life. And then now I feel like it's a skill gap more for good players than bad players because most average players aren't going to be finding flares, getting redeploys, especially even winning their gulag. So it's like they can't come back and just keep buying like gulag kits and all that kind of stuff. Even like with all the bunkers, right? If you're win grinding, you can grab a specialist and a foresight and just post up endgame. So for the average player, like if they're trying to get like one recon, they're not gonna get a ton of money from that to buy a teammate back or like all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, I just truly miss the OG days of like you have 2 lives and that's kind of it, and a couple buy stations, and it's like the last team standing wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I do miss that, and I think like now it is kind of like a glorified Resurgence because you can come back in so many different ways. And yeah, I agree. I didn't really think about it, but like casual players probably don't even like think to buy a gulag kit. You know what I mean? Like, but like a good player, they're winning their gulag 90 8% of the time they're coming back, they're buying a Gulag kit and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
And then also because, dude, there's times where like a ton of my kills come from the Gulag. So it's like I'm fighting, and then on top of that, you can find 13K in the Gulag sometimes. I come back, buy a Gulag token and a loadout, and then I'm back to rocking and rolling. Which is just like it's changed. And again, there is some people that could love it, but I just feel like it's just changed how Warzone plays. And then also for the casual player, imagine how many people I am ending their game because I have fought the Gulag 6 times and they go once and they're probably going to lose it, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, I just truly miss the OG days of like, you have to value your one life and that's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did a ton of research for this interview. I watched like everything JoeWo, so I forget where I saw this exactly, but I saw you mention something that I thought was really interesting, how you don't have that many IRL friends in North Carolina, and I don't think it's specific to you. That's why I found it interesting. I think like it's a weird phenomenon with probably a lot of streamers where you have a lot of streamer and gamer friends online. You have a community that loves you, but then you turn off the stream and they're gone basically. I mean, you can still text like your gamer friends and stuff like that, but there's not like there's no one in real life, which is kind of crazy. Has that changed for you, or kind of where are you at with IRL friends?
I would say it has like for sure gotten like way better because 0.5 miles away, I have Bread and Twitty literally like walking distance.
Yeah.
But for just like in general, it's very, very hard to like meet actual friend because like streaming and gaming is such a, I guess you could say like strange career because it's so hard to explain to, I guess, a normal person that doesn't know anything about gaming, right? So it's like it's really hard to like meet people because most people I feel like have a ton of friends from their job or from work that they then go play sports with or go to the gym with or all that kind of stuff, and it's very, very hard to meet friends outside of gaming. There is a lot of friends that are in gaming that's like here, but it's hard to actually meet people that aren't like in the space.
Yeah. Well, if you're someone around Joe's age in North Carolina, again, the DMs are open. So
hit me up. Hit me up.
Speaking of Bread, this year you guys decided to split up for competitive Warzone. And I know that there's no beef, even though people probably want there to be because we talked about how viewers are. But I know you guys are really good friends, and it was probably a really hard decision. What was that decision like, and why did you guys make that decision?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like it's so funny seeing like people love clicks and drama. I mean, there's whole podcasts about drama, so people love it, bro. But it's like we just have played together for so long now, and it's super, super tough because we just had a rocky year, and it's like there was like a ton of highs and a ton of lows, and it's like now it's like we've played like on the same team like as a duo for 3 years now, I would say, and it's just like now it's like okay. Why not just like try something new, right? Because we had, like I said, a ton of highs, a ton of lows, but it's like, bro, there's no, like, bro, I still text Brad like every day. Of course, like people want like, oh, like, bro, give me the tea, Joe. Like,
something behind
there's gotta be something, bro. But it's like there's no drama. And even if there was, which there's not, Brad's the same way. We take all of our, because again, we like have like true, I guess you could say like life experience and like anything that would ever be a problem, I'm going to take offline. Brad would take offline and not like just air out drama like some people do.
In the locker room.
Yeah, it's like, dude, some people love that stuff. But yeah, man, there is zero drama, beef. It's just, we're just trying something new.
Yeah. So kind of talking about what's next for JoeWo. So I don't know if a lot of people even understand like how much of a commitment it is to like commit to doing competitive Warzone for a year, because you pretty much are committing to the entire year, because you have to find a team, you have to play, you have to grind tournaments all year, and then you work your way up to World Series of Warzone. Do you plan on doing competitive this year?
Yes, but I'm also kind of nervous because I did see on Twitter that a lot of the staff that run the whole tournament got sadly laid off.
Damn.
So I'm kind of nervous if that's even going to be a thing. And I feel like even now we haven't heard a lot about what is coming for Warzone. So like, I'm just kind of nervous, but I think too is that trying to create content around competitive when 99.99999% of the player base is casual, like most people don't even know that there like truly is a competitive side of Warzone is very, very important too, because like for anybody, content is key, right? Like I grew like my whole brand on creating content, and it's very hard to create content around competitive because it's so different than how most people play and how like they see streamers and creators play. Because people are like, dude, like where's the 40 kills? It's like, bro, we're playing against the best players on the whole planet. Like nobody's dropping 40 in any game, Apex, Fortnite, nobody's doing that, right? So it's like, it's just very different, but it's like trying to truly create content around that is tough. So I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. And I did see you doing more IRL content, which I liked. I watched your day in the life video, which I thought was really cool. You have plans for more IRL content this coming year?
Oh, 100%. That is like my favorite stuff because everybody sees like their streamer, their creator that's live all the time, but they don't get to see them when they aren't streaming or when the camera's off. And like vlogging and stuff, that stuff has been so cool to me. And then like trying to tie that in to gaming or COD, it's been so fun.
Yeah, no, that's sick. Once you do eventually get old, you're still a long ways away, but what's
the hairline isn't though. You know?
The hairline's not. I mean, you already talked about it, just focusing on content, doing more IRL stuff. But my question about like what's after competitive, I assume it's just that, right? Just focusing more in on the content part.
Oh, for sure. And then like long term, when I'm old, no, I'm kidding, but like older, I'll probably say that maybe like hopefully grad school.
Nice.
Please, Chapel Hill. Please.
Come on, Tar Heels.
Round 2, baby. Just let me in, man. I can see like gaming as a big point of the entire like true career of like my whole life, right? So maybe going to like create a game or going to start a brand or business or a freaking agency or something like that, but still being in gaming.
Nice. Well, if you start an agency, sign me up. I'll be your number one.
That is the first person I'm signing. I'm bringing you multi-million-dollar deals.
Let's go. Oh man. All right, Joe. I think we said it all, man. Looking through your career, it's just so impressive where you're at right now, man. I hope you actually have time to sit and look at like everything you've accomplished and the different milestones that you've done, because it honestly is impressive. We talked about Swag and Tim and Nick, and I think you're on your way, man. I think you're on your way to reaching those kind of levels, and it's just kind of cool to see. I think the secret to your success from what I've seen is you're just super genuine. Your vibes are always immaculate. They're contagious. Even doing this interview with you,
like this, bro.
Even doing this interview, I'm like, I'm feeding off of the energy. It's infectious. So, I think that's what your community sees. They know you're not fake. They can see through that right away. So, I think that's definitely been a secret to your success. I'm excited to see your competitive Warzone this year. I'm excited to see your IRL this year. I'm just looking forward to a lot of JoeWo in 2025. So,
thank you, brother. Trust me, dude. It's been like truly just a blessing going from like, dude, from a college kid that can't talk to save his life. If you would have told me like, yo, Joe, you're going to be talking in front of a camera for a career every day, I would have been like, yeah, you're insane, buddy. You're insane. So it's like seeing from that and then all the way to now, like streaming for a job is an unbelievable blessing. And then also having like an awesome just circle of people and an awesome freaking community around me is just, dude, it's a freaking blessing, man. And it's truly a dream job. And dude, I've met so many people like at the most COD event at airports, bro. And that's my favorite thing ever. So that's my thing that I say all the time. If you ever see me, man, in public, please say something, because dude, I love freaking meeting people, and dude, it's been a dream come true.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you so much for your time today. I know your time is valuable, but I'll just end by saying a quote from one of my favorite Warzone streamers. You look good, Joe. You look good,
man. You look good. And if anybody, hey, by the way, if anybody made it this far in the video, you better sub down below. I'm going to kiss your mama and I'm going to take her out to steak dinner. And you don't want that. Trust me. Because I can't say what happens after steak dinner, or it's not, it's salmon for me. She might get steak, but can't say what happens after that. But dude, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for freaking having me. There's been a lot of goats here so far. So I'm so glad to be here, and a million times over. Thank you, bro. It's been awesome.
Awesome, Joe. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Same, bro. All right. Peace.